Hello and welcome back to a new video in my Unreal Engine C++ tutorial series, Unreal Engine 5 of course. Last video we have created this actor that was customly written inside of C++, but also of course exposed some stuff to blueprints. We could like add all this customization in blueprints to have this all friendly and usable as a component, and as we start to play, it basically reacts as soon as our statue comes in, it jumps and disappears. Because it's kind of like an XP orb, you can collect it to get XP in the game. Like the statue wants XP, and XP is gonna kill the statue. So today we're gonna kill the statue. I know we put some really hard effort into making the statue live, but we're now gonna probably kill it. Or we might be nice and we might just add the audio. If I find, if there is a starter content, which is just maybe, yeah, there are a few more starter contents that I can use. Like, I'm not quite sure, I would love to have some Steam. Oh, no, whatever. Maybe we're gonna, yes, it's gonna explode on the statue. The hell, it's gonna explode. Yeah, that's good. I like this. This is probably not going to repeat. Yes, that's nice. So, exploding is a nice thing. So the statue is going to explode when it collides with that one. So how are we going to do this? That's going to be amazing. So, as you can see, we have made this one very modular. You can see that down here I can actually select which class will trigger it. So as you can see, currently the my statue is triggering it. But I could also make this the default pawn. If I set this to the default pawn, it is no longer reacting to the statue. But if I, because I'm the default pawn, move here, boom, it's gonna jump. It's gonna disappear. So as you can see, this was quite modular here. Let's put it back to the statue, of course. So there is no thing like going into the event graph here and doing stuff like, let's take the jump here at the back. So there is like no thing of doing other actor convert to or default pawn. There's no cast to default pawn. This will not work, because it could be everything. There's also not a cast to my statue. No, that's not how this is gonna work. We need to define a behavior, an interface between these two. And that's what we're gonna do today. So what I'm gonna go to is, I'm gonna go to Tools, New C++ Class, and of course you know that this is not good. We need to zoom out. Now we're going to scroll all down to the bottom to a Unreal Interface. An Unreal Interface class will be implemented by other U-object-based classes. And that's what we want to do. We want to have an interface, and we're going to have an implementation for that in the MyStatue. Or actually not in the MyStatue, actually in the component. Or we're actually going to try to find a component that implements that. Or we might also call this on the statue itself. We're going to have a bunch of code, and basically we're going to search for an object that implements that in the XP box, and then we're just going to call it. So how are we going to call this? It's going to call it my interface. I'm going to call this because it's like a convention. No, it's probably already prepending the I anyways, but so let's hope Unreal Engine does that. So we're going to add something to new CPP tutorial runtime, and the name is going to be it's going to be called the my collect acceptable. My collect acceptable. That's exactly what I want to do. Create class. And yeah. No, it's just you, my collectible. It's, oh, come on. The one time I want to be smart and see you prepend the I, and it doesn't do it. Oh. There's the I. Minimal API, what's that? I haven't never dealt with that actually. Oh yeah, I know what's going on here. Yeah, that's again, that is basically a C++ interface that's gonna be used, and this is basically getting all the shit done for the generate body and the Unreal Engine reflection stuff. This class does not need to be modified. Yeah, collapse this. So we're gonna basically go in here. So we're gonna create a U function inside of that, and to make it compatible with blueprints, it's gonna be, of course, blueprint callable, but it is also gonna be a blueprint implementable events so that we can basically implement this via blueprints. And what it's going to do, it's going to just be a void function, and this void function is going to be apply XP, or it's not really, it's like collectible, so we're just going to call this collect, and it's just going to be a U class. I think that's the wrong thing, because like it's not really a class, it's a new object. Source, so this is basically let's call it source object. So the void collect function is gonna be just gonna be called with a source object. Maybe let's add another float count, because you might want to have multiple of them. So we're gonna have a source object where you can basically identify what's going on, and you're also gonna have a count so that you can see maybe how many XP, because we had like XP, but I'm not gonna display them for now. But I just want to have it in here for later. Okay, this should complete our interface. Now we just need to implement this somewhere. Alright, so how do I want to implement this interface? Currently I don't want to implement it at all. I just want to depend on it later on. So I'm just gonna define this here floating. And we are just going to use this. It is like completely defined in C++, but we're just going to use it in the Unreal Engine. So let's jump back into the engine. I'm going to zoom in, of course, so that you can see it again. I'm going to hit the hot reload button and see if we get a working interface, which is looking quite well, actually. And yeah, there we go. We got ourselves an interface. So basically, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to check if the other actor does implement an interface. I'm basically checking that one here. So actually let me check this one afterwards. So I want to jump first. Oh, I double clicked that, which brought me to the implementation in C++. That's not what I want. So basically what I want to do is, oh come on, is I want to check if the other actor implements an interface. What interface do I want to have? How did I call this? I can't remember stuff. It's really bad. But there should be like this, my collect acceptable. That's one. That is what I'm looking for. My collect acceptable, that one. So I want to check if it implements this my collect acceptable, and then I basically want to branch on top of that. So if I'm going to jump anyways, but or do I really want to jump always? No, I just want to jump if this works. So sorry, let me put this one just as it is. If it doesn't implement that, it's also not allowed to jump. Or is it? Yeah, then it's no longer. Ah, damn, that's like all bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this here so that's still gonna work for myself. So maybe move this all a bit apart. Bit aside so that I can see. All right, so I'm gonna jump anyways, and if I'm also implementing this my collect acceptable, I want to call this. So can I cast this to my collectible actor? No. How to cast to interface? All right, so the issue could be that it is not really exposed to blueprints. There is a thing that goes on with all these stuff. If I could find my interface, here it is. No, CVP H, there it is. By default, I think this might not be blueprint visible. Let's see, do we have some specifications? Yes, we have. So this is currently not blueprintable. By adding blueprintable to this should now appear in blueprints as well. Okay, so let's see. Hot reload. Okay, done. And now we might be able to cast this to my collect acceptable. Yeah, that is good. That is the interface. So now I can cast this one. Can I, if this is implementing that, I can cast to. Actually, it's also checking if the cast fails. So I can just do this with my head through the wall, basically. Just like that. I hate crossover lines. I know you can dot this. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Come on, move that. Move that. I'm not like a blueprint specialist. However, I can modify this dot, but it's better than nothing like that. But what can I now do is I could like call something. How did I call this? Collect. There it is. Function collect. Source object is gonna be this. Can I not make this? Your object, this. Get a reference to self. There we go. Self and count. It's just gonna be 1 for now. So let's see if this blows up. It shouldn't. It should not do anything, but it should also not blow up, I think. I was just wondering. Yeah, now I can move it. That's nice. Can put this all nice together. Like that. Yeah. This should not blow up by default. Compiles. Yeah, that's good. Come on, go in. And this should still work. Okay. But now I want to implement this at the statue actually. So let's go back to the my statue. First, let's go to the viewport. I want to add another audio component. So let's add another one. Audio. This is going to be explosion. And we're gonna give it explosion. Explosion Q. I don't know, is actually Q just looping? I don't know. Let's see. Can I actually say that it shall not autoplay? Okay, so it might be just to keep this Q empty. Alright. So let's clear this one and just keep the Q empty of the explosion object. Good. So now we just need to tell it to implement an interface. Alright, so to basically implement an interface here from the my statue, you're gonna click up here on class settings, which is gonna bring you up the settings of the class. And down here you can see implemented interfaces, no interfaces. Here you wanna click on add and you're gonna get all. But you want to look for the my collect acceptable interface and boom, it's in here. Now you just need to basically implement this. You can see that we got the interface here. And now I can actually implement the event. And here you can see event collect. And this is now an interface here. And you can see that we have the source object and this count. We don't really care about all of them. The only thing that we want to do is go to the variables, components. To our explosion sound, we want to get it, and we want to set audio, set sound, and we want to basically set a sound here, and we're gonna say explosion 1, and this should now work. Let's test this out, compile, go in here, and yeah, it's moving, but it hasn't played a sound. Okay, so let's debug this through. First of all, I'm gonna go in here and see if our cast succeeds. I'm gonna toggle a breakpoint here, compile this and see if we're gonna hit this one. And we hit it actually. So the cast succeeded. What is the target? My statue see whatever, so this succeeded. We have the source in here, which it does have no debug data because it's probably this. But this is actually okay. So as you can see, it correctly detected that the my statue can implement this. So the next thing that I actually want to do is I want to toggle a breakpoint here and see if we actually hit the statue with the sound. And yeah, we hit it. So it probably just... Can we not do this? No, we cannot do this with double click. What is this? F9, same as Visual Studio, and I'm clicking stuff that I shouldn't click because I'm probably screwing everything up. Do we have a play function? Do we need to hit play as well? Let's maybe try this. Let's maybe add a play here so that it also starts playing. Let's test this. There it is. Now it played a sound. That is what I want. I mean, it's not really fitting to what's happening there, but I think it's nice. we are playing a sound. And do you know what the nice thing is? If we would have a class of our player, we could implement the interface as well, and it would still work with all the same. This code is independent from the code of the statue or a player or whatever might hit this. The only thing you need to change if you have like multiple of these XP stuffs around. So no, I don't want to really actually do this. I want to have that where I can basically move you around. So if I would duplicate that one and basically set this to the default pawn, something like that, you can see it's an exact duplicate. It's working, but it's not making a sound. It's working, this one is making the sound. The other one is just disappearing. It's all depending on the implementation of the actual statue that is going to respond to it. So basically what this one is doing, it is going to detect if it collides with a class that was set it up here, and if this collides, it's going to do its jump. It's implemented in its own, but it's also checking if the one that is overlapping with it, the actor actually, if the actor implements the interface, the common interface that was defined in C++, and if it implements that interface, the actor itself, then it basically just tells the actor, hey, I am here, this is the count that you collected, and go boom. I mean, yeah, it kind of like grew out of what it should be, but yeah. Actually, let me make a few more of them. I like them. I like my collectibles, so let's, since they are collectibles, make them collectible. Click the B in the scene. Let's do crazy stuff under chairs. That's gonna be interesting. Probably it's just gone mad because it was like in there. Nice, nice, nice. I collected all my collectibles. But I'm a bit sad that that one died. Why did you die? It's not that you are so much wedged down there. It's just sinking into the ground. What is that? Where is it going? That's really interesting where this is going. I have no idea why, but somehow it doesn't like be placed under chairs. Sad. Oh, this one now fell onto that. It's okay. So yeah, I have all my collectibles here. Because like, in the future, I think it's now the time to talk about pawns and later on characters. And I think we're gonna create some nice stuff and maybe some scoreboard that shows us how many XP we have collected in the world. I think that's nice. So yeah, just a short video here to basically to show you the power of interface. So it's not really showing you all the power of interfaces, but it's at least a nice beginning. Because the full power, we're gonna see it later. What you currently just can see is that basically we have the statue that is playing some sound in case it collects something. Doesn't care what it collects, just explodes. We have the collector itself, which is written in C++ and has a custom on-jump trigger event, which uses the events to propagate around, which is basically just written into blueprints, not fixed in C++ code. We could also fix this to C++ if we want, but I just want to stay on both worlds with you to basically jump you through and around. So just a bit of a shorter video just to show you some events and some interface power here. And I do want to have one more collectible actually. No, that's actually the wrong one that I'm duplicating here. That's the one that's only exploding. That one is the proper one. Let me get this into place. Yeah. I love my collectibles. Actually, they die quite late, but you can also knock them over, which is quite nice actually. Because they are physics simulated. I mean, it's not very physical that they just disappear, not physical correct, but they do. Alright, except that one, that needs to explode. That's nice. Okay, so thank you for watching. See you in the next video and make sure to like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye.